Should the U.S. ease up on visa requirements for brainiacs and other tech-oriented foreigners? That's the promise of a new bipartisan immigration and jobs plan introduced in the Senate today. It is known as Startup Act 3.0. Joining us now is the bill's sponsor, Kansas Republican Senator Jerry Moran, and Steve Case, Chairman and CEO of Revolution. He, of course, was also the co-founder of American Online. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Senator Moran, begin with you. Why is it so hard for us to let in these smart brainiacs and technology entrepreneurs? What are we afraid of in this country?
Well, it shouldn't be that difficult. In my view, this is just Kansas common sense. This is something that Republicans and Democrats ought to find agreement upon. And the reality is that when we fail to do that, we're missing out on a growing economy, putting Americans to work. And unfortunately, we're losing a battle for that global talent because other countries have reached the conclusion to do what we're not doing. And so jobs are being created. The American dream is being pursued, but it's being pursued outside the United States.
All right, Steve Case, if I'm not mistaken, help me out if I'm wrong on this. You want to bring in entrepreneurs who will start companies. That's one class. Second class is you want students, foreign students who go to our good universities, to be able to stay if they choose to. If that's correct, what's holding this up?
Well, these things are always complicated, but I salute Senator Moran and also the Republicans and Democrats who've been working together on this particular bill and this particular issue. Everybody knows immigration is sensitive, but this is common sense reform, really trying to make sure, as Senator Moran said, we do win the global battle of talent and can remain the world's most entrepreneurial nation. We can't get cocky or complacent about it. We really need to focus on it, and Startup Act 3.0 does that. Not just on immigration, which is, I think, the cornerstone of it, but also dealing with issues around tax incentives and regulation, commercialization, other things that can make sure we really are doubling down on entrepreneurship as a key driver of our economy.
Well, Senator Moran, I thought the immigration section in last night's State of the Union by the President was actually pretty good and opened up a lot of opportunities. But I want to ask you, Senator, was last night's State of the Union a growth message? Did you see it as such? Is it a deficit reduction measure? What are your thoughts on the State of the Union?
Well, I did not see it as a pro-growth speech. And one of the reasons I say that is that one of the features that has to be addressed, one of the problems our country has to meet, is this issue of the debt and deficit. That's related to job creation and to pro-growth policies. One of the reasons I got interested in the Startup Act is my belief that so little was being done in Washington between Republicans, Democrats, Congress, the President, in regard to a deficit reduction, reducing spending. And therefore, I'm not walking away from those issues. They're so important to the economy and to our country's future. But if we're not going to deal with spending, how else can we meet our country's deficit challenge? And that's growing the economy. And I certainly welcome any help from President Obama, from my colleagues, Republican, Democrat, House, Senate. We need to be growing this economy. Not only will it create jobs, which are so important to so many Americans, but it helps us in the deficit that is so crippling to our future.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you, gentlemen. Senator Jerry Moran and Mr. Steve Case, we appreciate it.